Chubb dragging people in onto the 34.
Look at this. Nobody there to make the play. Walks in the end zone. Nick Chubb is getting back to where he was.
Touchdown, Georgia.
Just when we started to give an ample amount of respect to the Big 12, the banner carrier, Oklahoma, falls flat on their face as a 33-point favorite. Big 12's back to square one.
Yeah, welcome to Lil B Sports Report. We're going to get started today. You just seen the highlights. I hadn't really brought it up because I didn't know about it. But congrats to Nick Chubb for going over 4,000 yards this week in his career. But you also got Nick Saban. He's I don't know. You got Mark Stoops, man. He's asking for not so much negativity, and you got you got old Nick Saban over there, and he don't want all the positive. Saying making his team play down, not making him. They're not listening to him. But my first game of the week that I'm gonna go ahead and talk about. I ain't much to talk about none of these games. There ain't really a whole lot of big games in here. I've kind of looked them up. I'm having a lot of trouble finding games. So I'm just gonna go through and possibly find some games that good chance of upsets in. I will break down the Louisville game just because that's my rival. I'm a UK fan. I hate Louisville. I hate Tennessee. Even though this is just a one-sided thing in football, but I hate Florida too. After 31 years, yeah. But Clemson is a 22-point favorite over Syracuse. They should be able to handle that. They'll probably beat them by more. Pins, though. Then again, I don't think they covered against Wake Forest. Michigan at Indiana. I don't know why. I just got a gut feeling here. Michigan's a 6.5-point favorite. I have a really good feeling that Indiana's going to win this game. Maybe a field goal game. Somewhere, I don't know, 24-21, I guess. Kind of a low-scoring game. Not real high-powered. I think Oklahoma, a good chance they lose their second straight game. And we'll just start talking about how bad Oklahoma really is and how bad the Big 12 really is. Purdue and Wisconsin. I don't know, man. That game, Wisconsin's a 16-point favorite. I don't think Wisconsin covers. You also got Utah and USC. I don't really know. USC's a 12.5-point favorite. I'm not really impressed with the Big 12, Pac-12. But especially if you got if you watch Uncle Lou too, he's kind of right there with me on that. Michigan State, Minnesota. This game's at Minnesota. I think Michigan State, good possibility they go in there and they lose. They just got ranked, coming off a big win up in Ann Arbor, the Big House. I think they lose this game to Minnesota. I think Minnesota sneaks by them. I put the Boise State San Diego State game down. San Diego State's a 7-point favorite, but I ain't really watched a whole lot of San Diego State because East Coast guy, don't get a chance to watch a whole lot of their games. But Boise State ain't as good as they used to be. Ain't exactly what they used to be there. San Diego State, I don't think they cover that 7 points. Florida State, Duke. I'm taking Duke in this game. I think Duke's going to upset Florida State, because Florida State is a 7-point favorite. It's not going to be a big upset, but I think Florida State loses again to Duke in football. A basketball school, as a lot of people like to put it. Something else I wouldn't mind talking about is Georgia Tech's only a 7-point underdog to Miami, at Miami. I'm having trouble seeing that game even being close. I know Georgia Tech runs that weird-ass triple option offense that kind of fused my team last year down there in Jackson Lair Bow. But that's about it. Then you got the Boston College Louisville. Come on now, you got Lamar Jackson. He shows up. The only time boy shows up is small games. Here you go, no team, Boston College. Boston College ain't been good since what? Matt Ryan. And I don't think they're really that good then. Louisville is a 21.5-point favorite in this game. I hate to say it, man. This game's probably going to be a lot bigger. Bobby P's probably going to have to try to make a statement to cover for Lamar there. Like I've said in the past, I love Lamar Jackson. I respect his game. I hate the team he plays for. So when I make fun of Lamar Jackson, it's just because I hate the team he plays for. But going on over to the SEC games this week, you got Mississippi State's got their second bye week of the week. Second straight bye week. Technically they play BYU. Well, they've upset a couple of SEC teams in the past or kept it close. The game that you really probably want to hear from and talk about, as a UK fan, I hate Tennessee. I hate everything about Tennessee. I also hate everything about Louisville. As I've said, I hate everything about Florida. You're probably asking about these Georgia highlights. As a Kentucky fan, why is a Kentucky fan putting up Georgia highlights to start his videos? After last week's predictions, I had a buddy of mine who's a Georgia fan. He told me, he's like, dude, you really think that game's going to be inside the fourth quarter between Vandy? Because that game's going to be over at halftime. I said, man, if it's over at halftime, I'll leave my next two videos off with Georgia highlights. The game was over at halftime. So that's why you're seeing these Georgia highlights. It should be the last one. Out of all the teams in the SEC, Georgia, I really don't have a whole lot to hate about, except they've been beating my Cats. But going up to the USC Junior, old South Carolina Tennessee game. This game's at Tennessee, but I don't see Tennessee winning it. I don't even want to say Tennessee's a favorite in this game. I think South Carolina goes in there and bustles them. I think this game could easily be 31-10. Easily. Then you got Auburn LSU. LSU had the one-hit wonder last week. It's Auburn at LSU. It was a one-hit wonder last week. LSU ain't even close in this game. Not even fucking close. I think that's going to end up being... LSU showed some defense last weekend, but I still believe this game's going to be probably 31-7 or something. LSU ain't got a chance against Auburn. Not this year anyways. But Vandy at Ole Miss. And once again, this is another two garbage teams. But I believe that Vandy's got, these both two teams that are ain't won an SEC game yet. So I'm going to take Vandy to go ahead and get their first SEC win, probably the only SEC win they're going to get this year. But that possibly could be even a low-scoring game there. I'm talking about something like a 6-3 game. Baseball score.
Listen to me instead of listening to you guys. You know, all that stuff you write about how good we are and all that stuff they hear on ESPN, it's like poison. You know what I mean? It's like taking poison, like rat poison. All right, so I'm asking them, are you going to listen to me or are you going to listen to these guys about how good you are? All right, just like your question right now, we get stopped 3 out of 4 times, like that's a bad thing? We're not going to beat everybody 66-3.
But yeah, also the next game would be Texas A&M at Florida. As you just seen, I just put in the damn Florida uniform for this week. I actually like them. I really do. I really like these uniforms. They're real nice, neat. That's why I went and put it in the video. But I think A&M wins this game. I don't know why, but I do. I think Texas A&M comes in and wins this game. 17-14. I think Texas A&M takes this game. Next is Arkansas, Alabama. Well, we both know how Arkansas, Alabama is. Alabama's going to win this game like 66-0. Arkansas ain't got a chance. But on to the next game would be Mizzou at Georgia. My Cats didn't really look, you know, we kind of let Mizzou back into the game. But Kentucky's not putting teams away. And it's our bye week, which is why I'm not going to talk a whole lot about Kentucky this week. I'm glad to see that Kentucky is going to get expected to have all their players back next week, going down to Stark Vegas. But the game that I'm talking about here is Mizzou at Georgia. Mizzou did look a little better last week against my Cats, coming off a bye week. I don't think that's going to help much here in Georgia. The only thing Mizzou has that on Georgia is that up-tempo offense. So their defense could kind of struggle a little bit here, kind of like Kentucky did last week. But I don't see it being nothing to the point where this game is even close. I want to say Georgia is a 31.5 point favorite. I think it's way more than that. I think this is going to be like a 49-7 game, 56-7 game, maybe even a 56-3 game. While I'm talking about Georgia here, I've seen Clemson did jump Alabama this week in the polls. My top 4 in the SEC this year, and I'm sure I'm going to get a couple, anybody, whoever's watching these videos, you're going to come at me with this. But I think it's Georgia, number 1. I don't know why, but I think Georgia's the best team in the SEC right now. Followed by Alabama, Auburn, and then Kentucky. Yes, I said Kentucky. But I think I just don't see much going on here. Like I just said, Mizzou loses this game like 63-3. I do think Alabama and Georgia both probably represent the SEC in the playoffs. I think Auburn will get the first New Year's Six bowl. And I think there's a good chance Kentucky could go to a New Year's Six bowl. I think I'm going to do a separate video in a minute, just breaking down Kentucky.